Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Got a real treat for you today. I'm going to show you how to smoke a turkey on a standard propane barbecue grill. That's right, no special equipment required. Preparation is fast and easy, and the bird will come out delicious. Super juicy, something you can be proud of. And the process is simple. So stay tuned, let's get to it. Folks, here's what we need to get started. I went ahead and got an onion and chopped up some garlic. I chopped up a stick of butter. I got some cilantro, apple, some celery, and I had some sweet peppers in the fridge. That's what I had. That's what I'm using. Got some sea salt, garlic salt, some Lowry seasoning salt. I got this smoked pepper blend, a little roasted herb and garlic, and some Montreal chicken from McCormick's, some basil and some thyme. I'm going to mix that in with some of these ingredients and we're going to stuff it in the bird. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Got the onions and garlic, sweet pepper, celery, apples, and cilantro. It's in there. We'll dump this butter in there as well. That's going to help keep the bird moist. Put a little sea salt in there. I have a clove of garlic in there already, but I'll put a little bit of the garlic salt. Why not? I'm going to put a little of everything in it. Just a pinch. I don't measure anything. You don't have to be perfect. You can use whatever you want. So this is an unusual blend of pepper. It's actually smoked pepper. Use some of that. This roasted herb and garlic. A little Montreal chicken, and that's a brand new one. I forgot to open it. Apologize about this, folks. We're going to try to make this video quick. Quite a few of them on the internet, 20, 30 minutes long. A little basil and some thyme. Why so much? I don't know, I like a lot of flavor. Really doesn't matter. If you just want to use basic salt and pepper, that's good enough. A little too much time. It came out too fast. I'm just going to mix this up real quick, and we're going to get it inside this turkey in just a minute. All right, mixed up good enough. The fun part. Let's try to get all this mixture inside this bird. Just pack it in there as best you can. Now once again, I'm not planning on eating this stuffing. It's just for flavor and to keep the bird as moist as possible. And you can use all kind of stuff, any kind of ingredients you want. Like you could even use, lemons and oranges and other types of vegetables. Okay, she's stuffed. Let's go ahead and season the outside. Okay, now we're going to season the outside of the turkey, and I'm going to go ahead and put some oil on the outside. You can use any kind of oil, corn oil, vegetable oil. Right now what I'm using is a peanut oil. I use peanut oil a lot, adds a little bit of flavor. I use it on fish a lot, but all we're trying to do here is just moisten the outside of the bird. Now you could even use butter if you'd like. And I'm just putting this on so some of the seasonings stick a little bit better to the outside. You could use melted butter if you want. You could use, heck, even water, just make it moist, I suppose. And when I smoke the bird, I don't baste it at all, so this helps keep it from burning as well. Okay, anyway, you get the idea. Just get some oil on the entire thing. And we'll be able to get some seasonings on there. And I am going to use this McCormick's Montreal chicken. Just put a little bit all over, sprinkle it. You can just use basic salt and pepper if that's what you like. Any type of seasonings you prefer. There aren't any rules. This isn't a big deal. A lot of the flavor is going to come from the smoke. All right, you see how that's done? Okay, and just go ahead and season it with whatever you like. I'm going to continue to put some more on. I'll see you when I'm done. We've got the outside of the bird seasoned. And now I'm going to show you a little trick, a little something I learned. This is optional. You don't have to do this, but it's just something I do because I really like juicy turkey breasts. And so what I've done is in the front of the bird, you can go up under the skin, and if you work your hand under the skin, you can lift it up. Now, I had to be careful by this little thermometer here. It's one of those birds with the plastic thermometer. I made sure I just kind of left that alone, but I've got a little salt and pepper mixture here and some seasonings. And I'm just going to take that in my hand. And I'm going to go up in here and put a little bit of seasoning and just rub it around on top of the breast as far back as I can get. And I'm going to do it on both sides. Like I said, totally optional. This is not mandatory, but I like doing it. That way, the skin's not the only thing with seasoning on it. We do have it on some salt and pepper and whatnot on the turkey breast direct. Now also, you want to be careful though, if you do that, don't poke holes in the skin. Try not to break it. Now I'm going to take some butter. I'm going to go in there and just smear this butter along the top of the turkey breast. Need a little more for the other side, and that's more than enough. And just kind of smear it all in there. You want to talk about some moist turkey breasts. Okay, so now that's in there. See if I can get some of it off my fingers. So that's in there. Totally optional, but it's something I like to do. Okay, now that we have the bird stuffed, we've got the outside all seasoned, she's pretty much ready. A couple things we still need to do though. I'm going to tie up these legs and kind of bring everything together, close this up, and just wrap it around the leg here a little bit, bring that in, go about the other leg, and see if you can just get them to tighten up. I'm going to go ahead and tie this around the bottom. Just using some twine, you know, they've got, you know, regular twine you can use, or they sell cooking string, I guess they call it. So I've got those legs, for the most part. Got a little problem here, I can't really see on the other side. There we go, okay, that's done. I also have another piece. What we're going to do there is bring these wings in. And what I try to do, and this bird's pretty big, I don't know if I can do this. Sometimes I can tuck the wing under the leg, but the whole point is to keep these real tight to the body so they don't burn. So I'm just going to run a piece of twine around here underneath, see if I can get those wings. Yeah, and this bird, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Tuck them up real tight. That way the ends of the wings won't burn so bad. Okay, let's just do a double knot. Okay, and that's that. Boom, she's tied, ready to go. And for one last secret recipe, this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. I just started doing it this year. And this is an injector. You can buy different kinds. This one just happens to be a Creole. They call it a Creole butter flavor. And I hope I didn't mess up the thermometer there. And what you want to do is take this injector, and I like going into the breast, get it in there, and just slowly squeeze a little bit in there. And I'm just going to hit it several spots in this breast. And just do a little bit in each area. I'm going to now put some into the legs as well. Not that they need as much juice. I've never done the wings. I don't think it'll go in the wings. You could try though. And this is totally optional. And that didn't go well. I pulled it right out. Oh, there we go. Okay, just make sure. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think we're thoroughly saturated. Okay, that's the injector. She is ready to go on the grill, folks. That's it. That's all you need to do to prepare it. Kind of wood I'm using cherry wood. Comes in bags you can get at the grocery store, Walmart, and hardware stores, that kind of stuff. But anyway, it comes in a bag, a few bucks a bag, and that's what I'm using. My standard propane barbecue grill. I'll show you how I turned it into a smoker. I've taken off one of the grills, as you can see, one of the grates. I've got 2 pie pans here full of cherry wood chips. You can use any kind of wood you want. Now look what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put these underneath the grate. Put this one on this side. And what I've got is a 3-burner system. Now my burners go left to right. We've got the front, middle, and rear. I've only got the rear on. I've found that my grill will stay about 300 degrees with that rear one on high. So I've got the cherry wood in there, and I'm going to put the other grate on, and we're going to let it start smoking. This bird ready on the grill, and one thing I did do is put it in a pie pan. You know, one of those aluminum ones here you can buy from the dollar store. I do have a rack underneath it just to keep it elevated. And one thing I'm trying to do is I don't want the bird directly on the heat. I don't want the flame right underneath it. And so my burner goes here in the back, and that's the one I have on high. And this grill keeps it right around 300 degrees. You can cook it at like 280, 290, 300. And you can see those chips are smoking pretty well. One thing I did not do was soak them in water. They usually tell you soak them in water for a half hour or so before you put them in a smoker. This method, I have found I get more smoke if I don't soak them and they don't catch on fire. In a smoker, if you put them directly on coals, they will catch on fire. Alright, so I'm going to close this up and let it go. I think I'm going to push this a little bit farther back. This is a bigger bird than I normally try to put in this grill. But that's perfect. Okay, let's see how she goes. Hey folks, this is it, the final product. This is a huge bird. It's over 20 pounds. I would recommend staying with a 15, 12, 13 pound bird. But this is it. Now, I had a huge amount of smoke in the beginning because I did all the wood chips. They were dry. And you can see how dark this is. It got dark right away. I'm not going to eat the skin on this just because it's just too dark. But let's go ahead and see what we have. Wow, this thing is soaking wet. A lot of that cherry wood flavor. I can definitely taste the smoke in it. But this is it. That's it. It took about 4 hours. And very juicy. I can just see the juice running down. I went ahead and tasted this bird, this turkey, and it's really good. And I'm cutting this side. One thing I realized was, this was the side where all the heat was. I did spin it around a couple times, but the last couple hours, I didn't. And I made a mistake. And this is juicy. It's pretty good. But this side here was away from the heat. And it was, when I cut into this side, it's just spewing juices. It's just soaking wet down here from the juices just flowing out of it. So that's something to keep in mind is if you're going to do this with one burner, rotate the bird more often. However, like I said, this was over 20 pounds. I've never done one this large. Most of the ones I've done have been 12, 13, 15 pounds was the largest. And they've come up perfect. This one here, this whole side here, it is super moist. And that was the side that was away from the heat. Anyway, for what that's worth.